Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Molson Canadian, made from Canada, and Rocky Mountain Barbecue, Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best.
Okay, let's just fire a bunch of stuff out here. You talked with Tim Raines recently. Boy, that brought back a lot of memories of the Montreal Expos and the team of the 80s that really never was. But how much was left on the table with Tim Raines, Andrew Dawson, Bill Spaceman Lee?
Warren Cromartie.
Oh, what a team.
Tim Wallach, Terry Francona.
Yeah, and they left it on the table against the Phillies, and they left it on the table against the Dodgers.
Gary Carter, too.
Gary Carter, wow.
You know, he's dying these
I didn't
days.
know that.
Yes, he is. He's in West Palm Beach. He has brain cancer. He's on his deathbed.
Oh.
Tim Raines was in Calgary last week for the Dinos baseball fundraiser. I had the pleasure of hosting it and sat with him at the dinner table, and we talked about the Expos. And, you know, you may think this is kind of crazy, but I can name, to me, the Flames of the late 80s, early 90s are, you know, they're like brothers to me. I just remember them so well. It's almost like that with the Expos. We mentioned their names.
Yes.
How many teams, Mike, can you think back where you can name half the roster like we just did with the Expos? So to have Tim Raines here, the Rock, yep. 21 years of age, he comes to the Expos in 1981. Outstanding athlete, outstanding team. Hit some hard times in 1982. Here's a young kid from small town Florida, a little bit in minor baseball, ends up in Montreal, the party city of Canada, and sees these guys in Major League Baseball. Bill Spaceman Lee smoking dope in the washroom of the airplane. All these guys doing drugs and partying in Montreal. He gets caught up in it. Yeah. He said, I did not have an addictive personality, or I didn't think I was a bad guy. I was a clean guy. He wanted to be a football player. He wanted to be an O.J. Simpson type football player, because that's what reigned supreme in Florida.
Yep.
Anyways, he's told a great story. He said, I had to clean up. I had to go to a drug substance abuse program. To tell my parents that was the hardest thing I've ever done. So quickly, I wanted a rebound. He went to Andre Dawson, the Hawk, the veteran of the team, and said, I am going to hang out with you, look after me. He did. Andre Dawson was his mentor. He named one of his second son named Andre. Pretty good guy. Great stories from the Montreal days. He said he spent 13 seasons with the Expos. They were the team of his heart. But to play for the Yankees, I think it was for 2.5 years, was special, was unbelievable.
Well, it is the team, isn't it? And Grant, when I think back on those teams that the Blue Jays won, when they won the 2 World Championships.
In the early 90s.
Yeah, but I keep thinking how much the Expos captured the country's
you're right.
imagination.
Yes.
Their loyalty. Had they been able to win one of those, I think that would have weighed a lot heavier than the Toronto Blue Jays, in my personal opinion.
No, I think it would have grabbed the nation bigger.
Because they're the first team here, the first baseball team here.
And they were an outstanding team. Yeah. There were some stars, and they looked cool. There were some rebels in that team. We talked about Bill Spaceman Lee. Dick Williams was the manager. Yeah. So it was a real treat for me to talk to Tim Raines, the Rock. He's 53 years of age, lives in Phoenix, still manages, in baseball, manages in the Can-Am League in Newark, New Jersey.
We want to give you a chance to win a real cool prize. All you have to do is follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Join now for your chance to win an autographed Doug Gilmour Flame jersey, the real leader of the '89 Flames Cup-winning team, the club's best-looking jersey. Join us on Twitter and Facebook to win. It's that easy.
Boy, this past month we've had some sad news, and Bob Torrance, great athlete out of the University of Calgary. I've still got a picture of him. I'm doing an interview with Flutie, and it's a big blown up thing. Flutie signed it, and here's Torrance and Harold Hasselback dumping champagne over Flutie's head. What a picture. I'm always going to have that of Bob Torrance. I really like the guy.
Always happy, always fun looking on the outside, right?
Yeah, and 43 years old.
43.
Heart problems.
St. John's, Newfoundland, died of complications of an infection in his heart. They had a memorial, the UFC alumni, Dinos alumni had a memorial for him at the Red and White Club last week. You know, he won You know, I first covered him when he was at William Aberhart High School. When he played for the Trojans, he was built like Tim Tebow. He was a solid quarterback, big, strong quarterback, and he still to this day holds the high school record for javelin.
Oh, really?
Yes, he does.
Doesn't surprise me.
Because he had a great arm.
Yeah.
He was an outstanding athlete. He won the city championship in Div 2 high school football, went to UFC, and I think it was only his second year, took over as the #1 quarterback, took the Dinos to the Vanier Cup, won the Vanier Cup like 55-20 over St. Mary's and a great quarterback, Chris Flynn, who's in now the Football Hall of Fame in Canada. Then he goes to the plays pro football with the Ticats and the Stamps, wins a Grey Cup. So he's won in high school, university, and in the pros. But what we found out during the memorial, and it's for public record, he died of a heart complication, but he suffered from depression. And his cousin got up and spoke. Nobody knew about this, and from that depression, got into some addiction problems, and that affected his life. So the nice guy, the big smiling guy, the brush cut, the Tim Tebow type quarterback, maybe more talented than Tebow is in all facets of the game. I don't know. But he had depression problems, so that kind of reared its ugly head, and that made it even more sad. But
good guy.
A great Calgary athlete.
Yeah, and a great guy, too.